Every year, the NFL draft is treated like gospel. Mel Kiper's big board, scouting reports thicker than textbooks, stopwatches, hand sizes, Wonderlic scores. Teams convince themselves they've cracked the code, and every year, they're wrong. Because football doesn't care about draft position, it doesn't care about hype, and it definitely doesn't care about preseason narrative. Some of the greatest players in NFL history were afterthoughts, late round flyers, undrafted long shots, or guys teams straight up didn't believe in. They were called too slow, too small, not athletic enough, system players, camp bodies, and then Sunday came. This is the story of NFL duds who turned into absolute studs players who embarrassed scouting departments, rewrote expectations, and turned doubt into dominance. Let's start with the most famous example of all time, Tom Brady. Pick 199 to immortality. 6 quarterbacks were taken before Tom Brady in the 2000 draft. Let that sink in. He ran a slow 40, had zero flash, and his combine photo looked like it belonged on a missing person's flyer. Brady was drafted 199th overall, a compensatory pick. The Patriots didn't even know if he'd make the roster. At training camp, Brady wasn't competing for superstardom. He was competing not to get cut. Then opportunity met obsession. When Drew Bledsoe went down, Brady stepped in and never gave the job back. What followed was the greatest career in sports history. 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 10 appearances, more wins than entire franchises. Brady didn't just prove the draft wrong, he broke it. He became the standard by which every late round quarterback is now unfairly judged. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant no more. The last pick in the draft is usually a joke. They literally call him Mr. Irrelevant. In 2022, that was Brock Purdy. Quarterback, Iowa State, 7th round, pick 262. He was supposed to be a camp arm, a clipboard holder, a footnote. Instead, Purdy walked into a stacked 49ers offense and looked calm. No panic, no hero ball, just reads, timing, and confidence. He won games, then playoff games, then big games. Suddenly, the last pick label disappeared. Brock Purdy didn't play like a backup. He played like someone who belonged. From afterthought to franchise quarterback, that's not luck. That's preparation meeting opportunity. James Harrison, from walk-on to nightmare. James Harrison wasn't just undrafted, he was overlooked everywhere. Walk-on at Kent State, undrafted in 2002, cut multiple times, sent to NFL Europe. Most players would have quit. Harrison got angrier. When he finally stuck with the Steelers, he didn't just play, he punished. Defensive Player of the Year, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowl rings. And then there was Super Bowl 43, a 100-yard pick 6 before halftime, one of the most iconic plays in NFL history. James Harrison wasn't just a stud, he was a warning. Ignore someone long enough and they might come back violent. Kurt Warner, from groceries to greatness. Kurt Warner's NFL resume once included being cut by the Packers, playing in the Arena League, stocking shelves at a grocery store. No exaggeration, he was 28 years old, out of football, and nearly forgotten. Then the Rams called. When Trent Green got hurt, Warner stepped in and changed football forever. The greatest show on turf, 2 MVPs, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 1 ring, from undrafted nobody to Hall of Famer. Kurt Warner proved that timing matters, but belief matters more. Shannon Sharpe, too small, too slow, too wrong. Shannon Sharpe came from Savannah State, a tiny school. Scouts didn't know what to do with him. Too big for a receiver, too fast for a tight end, didn't fit the mold, drafted in the 7th round. Then he revolutionized the position. 8 Pro Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, Hall of Fame career. Shannon Sharpe wasn't a tweener, he was the prototype. Terrell Davis, short career, immortal impact. Terrell Davis was a 6th round pick. Most fans didn't know his name until one preseason moment, a special teams tackle that saved his roster spot. From there, 2,000-yard season, league MVP, Super Bowl MVP, back-to-back rings. Yes, his career was short, but his peak was historic. Terrell Davis didn't need longevity to be legendary. Zach Thomas, too small to fail. Zach Thomas heard the same thing everywhere. Too short, too slow, too unathletic, drafted in the 5th round. All he did was become the heart of the Dolphins defense for over a decade. 7 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pros, one of the smartest linebackers ever. Zach Thomas proved instincts beat measurements. Jason Kelce, the center who stole the show. Centers don't get headlines unless you're Jason Kelce. Drafted in the 6th round, Kelce wasn't supposed to dominate. Too small for his position, better suited for a backup role. Instead, he became the engine of the Eagles Eagles, Super Bowl champion, multiple All-Pros, and one of the greatest parade speeches in sports history. Jason Kelce didn't just play center, he led an entire city. Richard Sherman, slow corner, fast mind. Richard Sherman ran a slow 40. That's basically a death sentence for cornerbacks. Drafted in the 5th round, teams questioned his speed. They shouldn't have questioned his brain. Sherman became the face of the Legion of Boom. Elite coverage, trash talk backed by dominance. Super Bowl champion, he wasn't slow, he was calculated. Victor Cruz, from nobody to salsa icon, Victor Cruz was undrafted. No expectations, no guarantees. Some scouts didn't even know his name. Then he lit up the preseason with long touchdowns, reminding everyone why football is full of surprises. By 2011, he was unstoppable. 1,500 receiving yards, Super Bowl champion, salsa dancing in the end zone, literally redefining how receivers celebrate. Cruz turned a tryout into a legacy. He made every undrafted free agent feel like the dream was still alive. Every week, defenders had to chase him across the field, wondering, who is this guy? Ahmad Bradshaw, always underrated. Ahmad Bradshaw was never the star, never flashy, never hyped. Drafted in the 7th round, most people wrote him off before he even suited up. But when it mattered, Bradshaw delivered. 2 Super Bowl rings, 1 legendary accidental touchdown in Super Bowl 46 that somehow became one of the most iconic plays in NFL history. Bradshaw didn't just play, he made winning plays even when he tried not to. A quiet, clutch, under-the-radar superstar. Proof that the NFL often overlooks the grinders who make champions. Antonio Brown, from 6th round to unstoppable before all the drama. Antonio Brown was unreal. Drafted in the 6th round. No size, no hype. No one outside Pittsburgh even noticed him. Then he became the most productive receiver of his era. 7 Pro Bowls, 4 All-Pros, record-breaking consistency. For a stretch, nobody could guard him. Quarterbacks threw it his way, and defenses could only hope to survive the next highlight reel. AB's rise was one of the fastest from obscurity to dominance the league has ever seen. He made everyone who doubted him look foolish, including the teams who passed him over in the draft. The NFL loves labels: bust, reach, steal, dud. But football has always had a sense of humor. Some of the greatest players ever were doubted first. They weren't supposed to make it. They weren't supposed to last. They definitely weren't supposed to dominate. And yet, here we are. These players didn't just beat the odds. They embarrassed them. They laughed in the face of skepticism. They rewrote what it means to be overlooked. So next time you hear a scout say, "This guy doesn't have it," remember that greatness often comes from the unlikeliest of places. The NFL isn't about draft boards. It's about heart, grit, and who shows up when it matters most. If you loved this video, hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe for more untold NFL stories, player comebacks, and legendary moments. Comment below which undrafted or late round player you think will shock the league next. Because in the NFL, draft position is just a number. Legends are made on the field.